everybody, and welcome back to Time to Go. Bob here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at another Seiko diver. I've been having a ton of fun with the Seiko diver lineup. We've had the SKX, we've had the Turtle reissue, as well as a Monster 3rd Gen on the channel, and today we're going to be looking at the Seiko Sumo. This is the SBDC001. So let's spin the camera around and take a closer look. Okay guys, so I usually start off my reviews by talking about the packaging that comes with the watch we're talking about. Today I think I'm going to skip that. I've had a few Seiko divers on the channel lately and they're all very similar. The only difference being this one is a JDM model, so some of the instructions, the hang tag, and the international warranty is in both English and Japanese. Now, the watch itself, we'll get some of the specs out of the way here first. The case width on the Sumo is just under 45 millimeters. Lug to lug is 52 millimeters. We are looking at a 20 millimeter lug width, and the case thickness is just under 14 millimeters. The water resistance on the Sumo is 200 meters, and the crystal is a Hardlex mineral crystal. So I know it's kind of hard to tell with the reflection here, but the Sumo does have a very nice flat black dial. It has a raised chaptering that angles upward and outward towards the edge of the dial. I find this dial to be very clean. It says Seiko, automatic scuba, 200 meters. That is either painted or printed on in white, and in that same white paint they have framed the date window at the 3 o'clock position. Now, like a lot of Seiko divers, the hands as well as the hour markers are very big and bold, making this watch very easy to read at a quick glance. The hour markers are also framed nicely. I'm not sure if you can see here, in stainless steel. And both the hands and the hour markers are heavily applied with lume, which I'll throw a picture of that up here now. And as you can see, the pip at the 60-minute mark on the bezel is also lumed, and this is such a strong lume that I find myself looking down at this watch even in the daytime to see it glowing without intentionally charging it. So again, it is very bright and it does last all night long. The bezel here is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. It has an aluminum insert, and I just love the big prominent numerals that they've chosen to put on here. The bezel is also angled slightly downwards on the inner part where the minute markers are, which is a nice little touch. The case design here forces you, how it comes up and covers part of the bezel, forces you to turn the bezel at the 12 and 6 o'clock position. It does turn very easy. There is a little bit of play in this bezel, but in this instance, and I know that's not the case with all Seikos, the alignment is bang on, so I'm very happy with that. The case on the Sumo, to me, is what really sets this apart from the other Seikos that I've owned. The polishing is done to a beautiful mirror finish. You can probably see my reflection there. And the brushing is just done so nicely. And with the transitions where the brushing and the polishing meets, the lines are just so sharp. I also just love the overall design of the case. If you look how the lug to lug here has that nice curve, and then it curls sort of inward towards your wrist here as well, making it really quite comfortable on the wrist. I also love how they've brought the case up sort of above the bezel to protect the bezel from being knocked. I just think the overall look is just awesome. They've also, on the case back, as you'll see on many of the Seiko divers, you'll see the tsunami wave. Overall, the finishing, the fit, everything is just impeccable on the Sumo, and I think it's really a step up compared to some of the other ones that I've had. The case here is housing Seiko's 6R15 movement. This is a hacking and hand winding movement, and it has a power reserve of 50 hours. Now, compared to most of the automatic watches I have with the 38 to 40 hour power reserve, I find that extra few hours makes a big difference, especially having a full 2 days this can sit in the watch box between wearing it. Now, the movement has, and actually I'll just show you the crown here quickly. The crown is signed with the Seiko S, and the movement here, I'll just unscrew the crown, which it has a great grip, by the way. It's very easy to unscrew, but the winding action on this is very, very smooth. It's very easy to set the date and time, as well as screw back the crown, even with gloves on here. And this watch on the wrist has been gaining about 7 seconds per day for me, so I'm pretty happy with that. The last thing I want to talk about is the bracelet and the clasp. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is the end links don't quite line up with the lugs. It's a little bit shorter, as well as a little bit shallower this way. And for some reason, I really like that look. I had this on another watch, and it kind of bothered me, but it just goes with the overall look of the Sumo to me. The finishing on the bracelet is on par with the case. It's done very well. There's 2 nice stripes of polishing going down the links. The clasp is the typical Seiko diver clasp. It's just stamped steel. There is a diver's extension. It is not the greatest clasp in the world, but on wrist it's actually quite comfortable. So let me just throw it on for you guys for a quick second. Alright guys, so I have to say I am seriously impressed with this watch. I think the overall fit and finish is just next level compared to the other Seikos that I've owned. The design is amazing. It just hugs the wrist so nicely, making it very comfortable. And again, if anybody is considering one of these, I would definitely recommend it. And at this price, it's really hard to beat. So that's going to be it for today's video. Let's spin the camera around and we'll wrap this up. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I have a couple of really cool watch videos coming out very soon. As well, in just over 2 weeks, I'll be going away. I'm going to be putting together a fun little travel vlog for you guys. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.